Hey everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What's shaking? How's your Tuesday going? Hope it's going great. Linda Kisling's here. She doesn't like the weather where she lives. I can't do anything about that. Sorry. It's not that great here either. What the hell is it right now? It's just temperature of some kind. It's only 49 degrees here. 39 earlier. It's going to be getting real cold next week. But whatever. Hey, if you get the chance, go ahead and head on over to the Tom Gully Show. Go to the store, or you can go to cafepress.com/The Tom Gully Show and buy yourself some merch like... let's just go ahead and see what I've got here in the terms of merch. Oh, you could get yourself a mug. Look at that. That's a 20-ouncer there. That's a big-ass coffee mug there. Or other stuff. What else could you get? I might as well show some other stuff here while I'm vamping for time. You get yourself a long-sleeve T-shirt. Sure, like that one right there. Yeah. Or if you're a lady, you could get yourself, let's see here, a hoodie. I think it's a hoodie. Yeah, ladies' hoodie. Look at that. There's a lady in that hoodie right there. Whatever. How am I? I'm fine. We don't ever ask how Tom's doing. It's not a question that we ask. Nice mug, Tom. Thank you. Turkatron is here. Hey, Turkatron. Well, let's see. I'll do orange. I don't know, so I'm going to find out. Musical. Okay, it is a verb developed from the general sense of improvise. That's where the term vamp originated. Yeah. It means improvise. So that's what I was doing. I was vamping there. It's my friend Tom, says Hugh. There you go. Hugh says I sound a little congested. Well, that's probably because I am. Or you can go to paypal.me/Tom Gully Show. Boy, we could use some contributions. That would be so nice. Or you can go to patreon.com, The Tom Gully Show, and get yourself thrilled and whatever. Look, it's Zombie. He says we. Probably not the time to be being a jerk on my page, especially when you're from a show that does so much fewer. As bad as we are here, when you're about 10 times worse, probably not the thing to be doing. And by the way, phone lines are not on right now because a couple of people showed up before the show started and indicated to me that I shouldn't have them on. I'll turn them on later, but they're not on right now. And I guess we'll just put you in timeout again, Zombie. There you go. I think you are in timeout again. If you're not, that's okay. I'll just ban you. So there. That's what we've got going on here this evening thus far. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? That's, of course, we do a live show. We do a live program. We don't do a show in secret off to the side, record it, and then put it on. You know, Tyler Schollenberger's here. He's from the Quad Cities. I always thought I'd see more. Never mind. Wild Bill says, good evening. I hope you're feeling better, sir. I am feeling a bit better. I'll feel even better tomorrow. Much better, as a matter of fact. Let's see. What can I put on screen here? Let's see. Get 'em, Tom. LOL. Well, they're just losers. That's all. It's not their fault. Hi, Wild Bill, says Linda Kisling. Wild Bill's got emojis. God knows how I love it when people post nothing but emojis. Oh, dear. Let's see. What do I want to put on the screen here while I blow my nose? How about tonight while I blow my nose, I put Frankenstein on the screen? Hey, Randy Ramos is in the house, and he is a chef. And many years ago, he worked at Noble Romans when with my sisters. So there you go, Tom's evil twin. Yeah. Turkatron says Frankengully. I guess that's Frankengully. This is an amazing AI of me, though. It really is. I'm quite fond of it. I'm very fond of it. But with all that in mind, let me tell you about the 1972 Olympic basketball final, or as I like to call it, the cheating scumbag commie Soviet Union basketball final. First, a little background. I'm going to put the good guys up on screen here. First, a little background. This looks back to a day when the Olympics was an amateur event, or at least was supposed to be an amateur event. We'd send our best amateurs, and the Soviets would send members of their Red Army who were playing as amateurs but were really professionals being paid by the Soviet Union. But when it came to basketball, it really didn't matter. Our team, the USA, had never lost an Olympic basketball game. 63 wins, 0 losses. And that was with our best college players, not NBA players, college players. While the Soviets, as I mentioned, classified their players as workers or soldiers and amateurs. Now, this was also during the height of the Cold War and the brutal sports rivalries that came along with it. Now, this U.S. team, which you see on the screen before you, was the youngest that the U.S. had ever fielded. And because they only competed as amateurs, these players would only compete in one Olympics. Meanwhile, the cheaters would have several players that had been playing together for 7 years, and one player appearing in his 4th Olympic tournament. When the game started, I'll go ahead and put the cheating scumbag. I'll put this on first. When the game started, the Soviets jumped out ahead of the Americans, and at halftime they were up by 5 points, 26-21. In the second half, the Soviets decided to turn things up a notch. Mikhail Korkla was guilty of assaulting the U.S. leading scorer, Dwight Jones, and when Jones defended himself, both players were ejected. So the U.S. lost their best player, and the Soviets lost an average player at best. It was not a good trade for the U.S. But during the free throws for this particular foul, Alexander Beloff violently injured Jim Brewer, and Brewer was unable to continue during the rest of the game. So, with 10 minutes left in the game, the U.S. was down by 10 points. But then the Americans went into a full court press. Somebody cue the Rocky theme here. And the Soviets could not handle this. They had not experienced a press like the U.S.'s. And so with 38 seconds left, the U.S. had cut the Soviet lead to just 1. Then with 7 seconds left to play, Doug Collins, who some of you may recognize, he was Michael Jordan's first coach in the NBA. He was a great NBA player. And he was the head coach of the 76ers and some other teams. Anyway, he intercepted Alexander Beloff's cross-court pass and was fouled hard by a commie whose name I can't pronounce. Zurab Sakin. Hold on. All this freaking mucus everywhere. Zurab Sakandalidze intercepted his pass and was fouled by Zurab Sakandalidze on the way to the basket, and it sent him crashing into the stanchion. By the way, I'll have some video about a lot of this stuff. With 3 seconds left, Collins hit the first of two free throws to tie the game at 49, and that's when the cheating and the nonsense really went crazy. Just as Collins shot his second free throw, the scorer's table horn sounded. The referee turned away from the action upon hearing the horn, but he never stopped play. Collins sank the second free throw to put the U.S. up ahead by 1, 50-49. Everybody cool with that? So according to international rules at the time, the ball was live. The clock didn't stop after that second free throw was made. However, the reason the horn sounded was one of the Soviet assistant coaches stormed out of the bench area to the scorer's table, not allowed back then, claiming that the USSR's head coach had called a timeout. Since a timeout couldn't legally be called after the second free throw, the Soviets didn't have an inbounds play in mind. The clock should have just run out, but the disturbance of the Russian assistant coach stopped the clock with 1 second left. There's only 1 second left in the game. And that's when the Soviets kept arguing. They called a timeout when Collins was first fouled. The game's referee knew nothing about it. The game's official scorekeeper said the Soviets had asked for a timeout, but it was way too late. The U.S. position is that the technical foul should have been awarded for the coach leaving the designated area. The official decision was finally made to deny the timeout. You don't get a timeout. In the eventual protest filed by the U.S., the official score sheet didn't even indicate a timeout was requested during the last 3 seconds. But during the time it took to sort all that out, the Soviet coaches got to confer with their players and set up an inbounds play, which they wouldn't have been able to do if the clock had continued running like it was supposed to by the laws of the game. So that's when an Olympic official who had had a lot of run-ins with the U.S. from previous years actually came out of the stands. He wasn't a ref. He wasn't anything official for that game, but he came out of the stands to weigh in on the ruling, even though he wasn't a ref or anything else. And he required that 3 seconds be put back on the clock and the entire inbound sequence to be replayed. So he overruled the game official that had only put 1 second back on the clock. So the players were brought back into position for a second inbounds play. But even though no substitutions were permitted after the timeout, according to the rules, the Soviets subbed in 2 players. The Commie plan was to throw a full length of the court pass to Belov, but they couldn't get the inbound pass done because the U.S. put 6'11" Tom McMillan in the way of the guy throwing the inbounds pass. So they couldn't throw it down the court. They had to have a short inbounds pass. That took up some time. The guy tried to throw a full-length pass, but the horn had sounded with the ball still in his hands and ended up flying out of bounds. So even though they tried to cheat, the Soviets lost. Oh, wait. That Olympic official came out of the stands again and ordered the last 3 seconds to be replayed again. And this time, one of the officials ordered McMillan, the giant guy that was blocking the full court pass, to back off the inbounder, even though that wasn't part of the rules. Now, with nobody challenging the inbounds pass, the ball was thrown down the court. By the way, the Soviet player stepped across the line on the inbounds pass, so it shouldn't have even counted, where Belov caught the ball, knocked his way through 3 American defenders, and scored a layup, and the cheaters won 51-50. Here's a good shot of the cheaters. Protests abounded after the game. The head referee of the game refused to sign the scorecard and joined in the protest. The head of the basketball committee said that under the rules, the U.S. had won. When the vote for the protest occurred, there were 3 people from Soviet bloc countries and 2 people from non-Soviet bloc countries. But they never released the count of the votes, merely that the U.S. protest was rejected. The U.S. players, they had their own verdict. They refused to accept their silver medals. unanimously refused to accept their silver medals. You always see that thing where the teams are out on the various different stands and the flags come down and the awarding of the medals. Those medals, those silver medals for the U.S. basketball team in 1972 are still in a vault in Lausanne, Switzerland. One player even put in his will that his offspring and heirs are never allowed to accept that medal. But why listen to my version of it? Why don't I just show you some video? Why don't I just show you a little bit of video about this that I will talk through in order to make it transformational? All righty, here. Let's get this hip-hop party started. As you see, it has a very appropriate title, this video, The Cheat Game. Here we are. Here we go. You know what? I don't even think I need the music on this. Munich Olympic Games 1972, USA, USSR. And here's our boys. They'd never lost a game before. About 10 seconds left. The U.S. is down 49-48. They get the ball. A bunch of stuff happens there. But Doug Collins eventually gets it. He's going to go in and get knocked into tomorrow down into this stanchion on the foul. Boom. And there he goes, bam, into the stanchion, as you can see. Just cheating, commie scumbag, fouling, 35-year-old guys playing against our 20-year-olds. Collins hits both free throws, ties the game up. Now, on the second free throw, clock's supposed to keep running, and the game should be over, but their guy, it says the Russia calls a timeout. They didn't. See this dude in front here that's screaming? He's not supposed to be there. That's supposed to be a technical foul. This is the second. There you go. There's the second inbounds play. The USA has won because they put 3 seconds back on it. The USA defended it, and everything's great. People are cheering. But then the ref puts 3. So they had to inbound it 3 times. They get another 3 seconds. Another 3 seconds. Keep in mind that referee protested the entire score. So they throw it all the way down. This guy, I'm going to show you a couple things here. He knocks this one guy over, which he's not allowed to do. But let me just show you when this guy throws the ball in. Boom, right there. His foot is over the line. That's what we know as a not true thing. So the Russia ends up winning the gold here. And I'm going to show you some quotes from some U.S. players real quickly. There they are celebrating being cheating, commie scumbags. That's the bronze medalists. The USA didn't show up.
Sporting event of that magnitude that has ever had that kind of chaos going on.
I couldn't believe that after all that we were going to be told now that the game was over and that we had lost.
It was a depressing experience, quite honestly. I can't say that the Olympics was one of the high points of my life.
That's Tom McMillan. That's the giant 6'11" guy they put into the game to, make it hard for them to inbounds the pass. He also became a U.S. congressman and asked the Olympic Committee to review their decision from back then. But didn't work out.
I don't want that. No. I didn't win it, so we won the gold. And they want to give me the gold, I'll take it.
That dude doesn't want a silver. He wants the gold. You got a gold medal for me? Beautiful. You don't? Sorry. I don't need to talk to you. Look at the fro on this dude. We ought to got a gold medal just for that fro, man. That is a gold medal fro if ever I've seen a gold medal fro. And I've been around a few gold medal fros, let me tell you. Let me tell you. I've seen my way around some fros now. So anyway, that's the story of the cheating commie scumbag 1972 Olympic basketball final team. And I'm so tempted. I'm taking myself off screen here for a second because I want everybody to be able to see that. Wow. That's some fro. Anyway, let's get that off of there. I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines against my better judgment. If it starts screwing up with my sound, though, I'm closing them again. I'm going to close them, but I'm going to open them. Not that I think I'll be getting any phone calls, but who cares really at this juncture. I'm feeling so much better than I was yesterday, but still not better. As you can tell by the lack of shaving. And this is actually a different Columbia warm-up than yesterday. I will immediately go back to bed after this. I've seen some things are going on in the Dabbleverse today. I haven't followed them very closely. Stevie Lou, who just seems like a kind of a thirsty guy to me, going back and forth between shows and trying to garner attention for himself, which, I mean, come on, let's face it, we're all doing that a little bit. But do you see me on other shows that aren't just me making an appearance? Star Mountain is here, says, hey, Star Mountain, what's going on? Good to see you, Chief, bro. You know, Skype would like to use my confidential information. Well, I've got news for Skype. That ain't happening. That's just not happening. Terry Nee says, thieving USSR gave it, I don't know what that means. Miracle on Ice. Have it. Yeah, they can have it. Star Mountain says, just riding out a storm. Hope we don't lose power. Well, Star Mountain, I got to tell you, yesterday, or was it today? It was yesterday. We got so much rain here. Hard rain. Like woke me up while I was sleeping rain. That I would assume you're getting the rest of that. Phone lines are open at 972-994-6822. That's right. The phone lines are open. And the sign of the Frankenstein means beautiful AI, by the way. I'm going to blow my nose. And welcome back. Welcome back. Feeling better, though. Feeling much better. Using only the home remedies that I've been mentioning. Lyndon says, East Coast getting hammered. Yeah, you're getting the stuff we had yesterday, as usually happens. Star Mountain says, we're halfway up a Catskill Mountain, so we're hoping the wind doesn't take out a power line. Yeah. The Pete Rose betting scandal would be a good show. Same with the World Series thrown by the White Sox in 1917, I believe it was. I'm going to say it was 1919, but I could be wrong. And I thank you for those suggestions, Mr. Schollenberger. What'd you say? Pete Rose betting scandal. Not much of a scandal, if you ask me. The 1919 Black Sox. I could be wrong. You could be right. I could be wrong. I could be right. It could be black. It could be white. It could be day. It could be night. Let the road rise with you. Well, Bill says we had a hella storm here last night and today. I swear I saw Noah Weather Radio. Let's see here. Stud Joe is on right now, but I can't do it anymore. It's like Groundhog Day. Same stuff every day. Well, you know, one of the things about watching Stud Joe that I can't handle, I mean, I seriously can't handle. Randy Ramos says, I remember watching Pele. So do I. I met Pele. is the bellowing. I don't care if he was talking about something I actually cared about, or if he was telling me that aliens were attacking the U.S. and what to do to protect myself. I don't care. But it's so Lady K says that I don't talk to my kids. Why do you mean I don't talk to my if I want to listen to it on a speaker, impossible. It's just, I set the level for normal. Okay, it's the level I want it at. And then the screaming and bellowing over nothing, because he thinks it makes him macho. Nothing's going to make you macho, Pudgy. You're a pudgy little 5'7" guy. Embrace that. That's all you ever were. Star Mountain says the bellowing was funny. I just hovered above his volume. But I hovered above the. Yeah, I'm prone to migraines. SJ was a trigger. Yeah, it's the screaming and the bellowing out of nowhere and the just stomping like a little baby. Can't handle it anymore. Terry Nee says Personal Foul is a good book. Good reason to stay honest. If his lips are moving, he's lying. Okay, since you think I'm going to read Personal Foul? Jillian Caesar said, you would think basketball is completely objective, either ball goes in hoop or not, but amazing how much influence officials can have with even a few seconds left. Well, I was one of the people that broke the Tim Donaghy story here in Dallas and went into the actual outcomes, of the games against the spread that he refereed. And the guy's a scumbag. I don't care about his story. He's a piece of trash. Let's see here. That icon was a mistake. It was supposed to be a peace sign. I sent a PayPal to you. Watching now. Okay, Trevor, whatever. Although if Trevor did send a PayPal, I'm very grateful. If you guys knew about Trevor and who and what he is, and the fact that he sent a PayPal and you didn't, well, you'd feel really bad about yourself. And I'm going to check that out. You always got to check out anything that Trevor tells you. I'm not doing that. You always got to check it out. You got to verify. What the hey? Trevor did send me PayPal. How about that? Here, let me see something else. Oh. Let's see. Podbean. Oh, that's my Podbean account. Yeah, well, Trevor did send a PayPal. So, Trevor, since you sent a PayPal, I'm going to attempt to call you. Even though you're going to tell me that your stupid Skype line isn't open right now or something. But I'm going to attempt to call you. It's going to be a call attempt. Trevor. I'm trying to call Trevor. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Trevor's unavailable. Let's see here. Most sports leagues were created by gamblers except the American League. Well, the American League's the one that had the Black Sox scandal, so his phone isn't charged up right now. It might be. Who knows? It's Trevor. Everything will be the most inconvenient pain in a rear end that can possibly be. Something that should be quite simple and easy will be a convoluted hell journey because it's Trevor. I can't now. Would tomorrow be okay? I don't know. You think I plan these shows out in advance? There's a chance. Probably. I don't run the well-oiled machine that you run on your weekly show. Yeah, give it a shot, man. Why not? Give it a shot. Let's see here. Wild Bill says, remember, Trevor is supposed to call you. You can't call him. Actually, Wild Bill, it's the exact opposite. He can't call me, but I can call him. There's a way that I can unblock his number, but thanks to some people from a certain podcasting cult, I have so many numbers blocked. There's no way for me to swim through that sea of numbers. And, well, you know what? I guess I could. Let me see here. I could try. Oh, man. I forget how to do it now. Privacy. I can't remember how to do it now. Oh, here we go. This might do. Here we go. Blocked content. Oh, God, there's too many. There's so many. How come I can't unblock all of them at once? Because I would do that. I would actually unblock. Let me see if I can do that. No, I'd have to go through here and unblock them one at a time. And that's never going to happen, ever. Because there's got to be 400 or 500 numbers here that are blocked. Most of them are those Google, they're those freebie VoIP numbers. But I guess there's no way to unblock them all. So, sorry. Lyndon says, Tom, the Watergate plumbers would be an interesting story. That one's been done too many times. Randy Ramos says, you're a gully. You plan everything. That is kind of true. But I planned this today, and look how well it's going. So, I wish I could, if I knew exactly which number it was, I could probably make it happen, because the numbers are at the very least in order. They're in descending order. So if I knew what the number was to unblock, I could probably unblock it. But I don't. So I can't. So that, hey, look, man, in life, if you're a jerk, there are consequences. Trevor's just living out some of the consequences of being a jerk. That's all. I, unfortunately, am also living out some of his consequences of being a jerk, because I have to waste time on my show trying to contact him. Hola, Senor Tom, says Reverend Wild Bill. Karen Garvey says, Tom, have you seen any of the 30 for 30 documentaries? Karen, I've seen them all. I love those things. I've seen all of them. And there's one on the 1972 Olympic basketball controversy. There's also a separate documentary that somebody else did on the same subject. And they're over in Russia. I should have gotten the picture of it. Over in Russia, they have, you know how we have the movie Miracle about how we beat them in hockey? They have one called Uplift or Jump Shot or something like that, that's about their basketball team beating us. How you can have a triumphant sports hero movie where the team that wins keeps getting the time added onto the game, I have no idea. No idea. Who's the hero of that one? The Olympic official who came out of the stands with absolutely no authority to do so and started adding time onto the game? I don't know. It's beyond me. Beyond me. The mere mention of Trevor coming on to the show made the room count drop. The mere mention of it. Let me see here. Going vertical, also known as 3 seconds. See if I can find an image. Because the poster for it is insane. Oh, here it is. I'm going to share this poster with you. Daggone it. Oh, well, I got to have it bigger than that. Doggone it. Well, I'm going to share it anyway. I'm going to share this poster with you now. I hope you enjoy it. If you can even see it. Not that big. Not that big. But anyway, as you can see, they're all heroes and stuff. And look how heroic they are. Anyway. Daggone it. Ah, here's a better one. Yeah, this is a better one. This one's going to make you throw up in your mouth a little bit, actually. This one's going to make you puke in your mouth a little bit. Hold on. Share screen. Yeah, this you're going to have a little chunder in your mouth. Look at that. Look how super glorious they are. It's funny. Look how everybody has a full head of finely combed and cropped hair. Where's that picture I had? I've got some other photos of these guys that, like, they're all balding and awful looking. They look like intramural players. But the movie 61 was good. Yeah, it was a pretty good movie. Let's see. The Olympic gods were capricious, cruel, self-centered, and unjust, just like Olympic officials. That's for sure. Cheating Russians? I don't believe it. Yes, they enjoy cheating. 4 years later, the Flyers kicked the Red Army's butt. It was great. Beat the crap out of them, by the way. That was before their hair fell out due to steroid abuse. Lyndon, though, is correct. The Soviet Red Army team made a tour through the U.S., and when they played the Flyers, regardless of what I think of the city of Philadelphia, the Flyers, the Broad Street Bullies, they were not having it. And it's like, don't know if you guys fight over there, but we fight over here. And they proceeded to mop the floor with those cheating commie, Ruski, scumbag, cheater commies. So, anyway, that's what happened. I wonder if I can find any, let's see here, USSR, Philadelphia Flyers. Because, man, yeah. The Flyers Red Army game was a famous international ice hockey game played on January 11, 1976. The game was notable for an incident where, after a body check delivered by the Flyers' Eric Van Impe, the Red Army's top player, Valery Kharlamov, was prone on the ice for a minute. When officials did not call a penalty, the Red Army coach Konstantin Loktev pulled his team off the ice in protest. Flyers chairman Ed Snyder told them to return to the ice and finish the game, which is being broadcast to an international audience. So the Soviet Hockey Federation would not get paid the fee they were entitled to. However, according to NHL President Clarence Campbell, he denied he ever told them that. They eventually complied and lost 4-1. The Flyers were the only NHL team that managed to defeat the Red Army that year. Laid them out. Laid them out. Let's see here. It was crazy, all the steroids they were giving the gymnast kids. That East German women's swim team looked like the East German men's swim team. They were so... Kirkland Red 100s, do a show on Brushy Bill Roberts and the fake Jesse James one of these days. Well, I could do one on Brushy Bill, who was kind of a jerk. And the fake Jesse James, there's still people that will tell you that was actually Jesse James for some reason. I don't understand why, but they will. Brushy Bill was part of those regulators, the Cowboys or whatever. But Ed did tell them no play, no pay. You will never be able to convince me that the head of the Flyers didn't just walk down there and say, you get your rear end back on that ice or we're not paying you. Incidentally, the Broad Street Bullies, he probably told them that was a love tap compared to what we do to most players. That was a love tap. Uh-oh. It's the sign of the Frankenstein. That means Tom's blowing. One of my colleagues in the streaming business, his name's John, he told me I should just, but I'm not doing that. Let's see here. Since you did the story about the plane, all the planes are having problems. Well, no. Are you talking about the American 737-9 MAX that American Airlines had grounded, all 65 of theirs? Because a kid almost got sucked out of the plane. The window blew out and the fuselage went out too a little bit. And then the FAA the next day subsequently demanded the grounding of all these planes. One of the things I'll point out to all you folks is prior to that, they were happy to fly your rear end anywhere you wanted. You know, the Japanese ones set on fire this weekend as well. I had to cover all those stories at the big fancy radio company all weekend long. That's what I was doing. Yeah. One of my colleagues, I even had to correct him. He's like, oh, no, they grounded all those yesterday. I said, no. American Airlines grounded theirs. The FAA grounded all of them on all the airlines. All of them. That's what happened there. So, yeah, who knows what we'll do a story on tomorrow. It's hard to say. I've got so many celebrity plane crash and car crash lined up. I've got to sort of space those out or I'll just be this celebrity plane crash and car crash guy. But let me see here. It's crazy. They're finding lots of loose bolts on those planes. You know, the airlines are always in a battle for who can have the lowest fares. I'm not against people paying less prices, lower prices for their airfare. However, it is not lost upon me that the lower price I pay, the less they can spend on maintenance. The less money they take in, something's going to get cut. You know, the FAA requires them to have a certain amount of stewardesses and a lot of other things. But personally, I don't know if you've been on a plane recently, but I think it's a little too easy to get a plane ride. I would not have a problem if the fares were a little higher and there were some people that couldn't afford to be on the plane. Because the ones that couldn't afford to be on it are usually the ones that shouldn't be on it. And I know you know who I'm talking about. And those people can rent a car or they can drive their own vehicle and have a family trip like you used to. But if you're willing to wait till the last second and get a cheap fare because the airline is desperate to sell that seat, that I don't have a problem with. But when they're cheap 6 weeks out, Tyranny says, Dash 8s are great planes. I worked for a subsidiary of USSR. All our planes were Dash 8s, reached to small airports on the East Coast. Grandma Bill says, I like paying low prices, but I expect the wings to stay on the plane. Well, good luck to you. My spelling is terrible today, yesterday, and tomorrow too. Well, that didn't work out well for the Griswold family. I don't know about that. Looks to me like they had a memorable adventure that they will never forget and they will cherish for forever. So, Kai, you can keep putting your question into the chat. I've ignored it twice. So, you do the math on that. Yeah, I think it worked out fine for the Griswold. I think we never would have had that heartfelt family moment without the Griswolds. Now, I understand that my family, 6 kids, back then you weren't getting on a plane. You just weren't. And we went to Florida from Indiana in a vehicle. Did we stop somewhere? We might have stopped in Nashville or somewhere and all stayed in a motel overnight. They had a pool, so we all got to go out in the pool, But nothing wrong with a family trip in a car. Karen Garvey said, I thought I saw all the 30 for 30 episodes, but I don't remember the 1972 basketball game. Going to look for it. Oh, you got to see it. Got to see it. There's an episode about what the 1980 Soviet hockey team experienced after the loss. Can't imagine being a legendary Soviet player and losing the Americans. Yeah, that one's pretty... I've seen it, and I don't feel sorry for him in the least. So, Tom, we are done flying now. Only road trips for us. Too many wackos. I got you. Friendly man, good day to you, sir. Hey, get a clue. It's not about you all the time. If you put something in a chat twice and it's completely ignored, and you put it in a third time, I don't know what to tell some people. I don't watch that program anymore. I can't even tell which channel it's on. It's here, it's there, it's whatever. Then you come in here and you want to be catered to. See you later. We won't miss you. Matter of fact, I'll make it easy for you. How about that? There, you're banned. Happy now? Hope so. Hope so. I do not go on other people's programs and tell them how they ought to do things or criticize them during. If I don't like it, I leave. Did you see the news about Ecuador? I did not. I've been asleep the last 2 days. In the 60s as a kid, O'Hara, we walked our dad onto the plane until we had to deboard before he left. Yeah, you used to be able to send people off at the gate. Wave to them from the window at the gate. Not anymore. The last time that happened, it was here in Dallas, and it was after TSA, and somebody did us a square. It was before all these kiosks and stuff where you check yourself in. But somebody did us a square, and there was a girl I was dating, and I got a gate pass or something. It was a special thing, and I got to walk her all the way to the gate. Because we were in love. They could tell. The ticket agent could tell that we were in love. So, but yeah, I don't understand people sometimes. It's just, especially people that do a show. Like if I keep putting things into a chat and they don't get acknowledged, maybe they're not gonna. And then when somebody calls you out on it, then I'm the bad guy. Just get out. Don't ever come back. You don't add anything here anyway. Tim Jenkinson says, with Ecuador and people trying to kill the Argentine president, things are getting interesting. Well, yeah, I guess that's interesting. More interesting than normal, for sure. Julian Zezer says, story idea, Russian pilot who let his kids fly and crash the airliner. Do you remember the story of that? There's a bunch of airline stories that I could do that don't just relate to famous people. But a kid had gotten control of one of the planes somehow. There's another one where a guy that was like a mechanic or something had gotten control of one of them. And neither one of those ended well. There's another one where a plane had to be moved. And it happens sometimes that planes have to be just moved from one place to another. Hey, it's Frankenstein. I think we all know what that means. So if and when a plane has to be moved from one place to another, they just send the two pilots and it flies empty. So there was a FedEx plane that had to be moved from one place to another, and the two guys that were flying it decided to do a bunch of crazy crap on it while they were flying. And they ended up crashing because they were not paying attention. And there's certain settings that if you leave on or don't put on or what. Again, I'm going to put it here in the chat. This guy, Mentor Pilot. There it is in the chat. I'm putting it up here too. That dude on YouTube has the most amazing channel. Now, the videos are a little long. They're like a half an hour, maybe 40 minutes sometimes, but the graphics are amazing. But he goes through all sorts of commuter plane crashes and the reasons that they happened. And oh boy. Mama. Yeah, you'll never fly again after watching his channel. All right, I'm taking the call center down. There's no reason to be having calls. Anyway, I banned 2 people in 2 days on this program. That's a record recently. But sometimes you just gotta, they could have made it through if they just didn't, throw out the criticism that I'm supposed to act a certain way or be a certain way for their privilege. Randy Ramos says, good night, Gracie. Julian Zezer says, Aeroflot 593. I'm sure that's a famous one, but I can't remember all the... Have you been to Mentor Pilot? If you had, you'd know that just throwing out a random number like that is not enough information because he's done too many episodes. Let me see here. I'm going to show you my good friend Mentor Pilot. And by the way, he's got 1.73 million subscribers. If you go to his page and you tell him I sent you, maybe he'll throw me 1,000 subscribers or something. What's this got going on here? Oh, jeez. Oh, that's the one with the 11-year-old kid flying. Gotcha. Check this guy's page out here. It's pretty amazing. He's really good. He's super good. English is not his first language, but he's exceptional at it, I think because he was a pilot for so long. And look at all the videos this guy's got. One, get out of the cockpit, he's killing the engines, Nightmare of Alaska Airlines flight, whatever. But look at all of them he's got. And his graphics of the inside of the plane and the actual takeoffs and the way each of the planes look. This one here, Fix Gone Wrong, for crying out loud. There's how many videos are here? Does it even say? 643. You can get real busy on the Mentor Pilot page. Yeah, there's all sorts of crazy stories. There's the one where the alligator got loose, or a lizard or something. Maybe it was an alligator. Let's see. Have you ever had a friend named Jack who you saw on a flight? Careful how you greet him. Hello, Jack. Yeah. You got to be careful about that. You just got to be careful. Oh, anyway, I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. I really don't. I wish I did. I don't know. I'm just sleeping and drinking fluids. And you ever had that thing when you have a cold where you're just not hungry and food doesn't taste good, but you know you have to eat something? Yeah. I hate eating joyless food. Can't stand eating food that has absolutely no appeal to it from a taste standpoint. It's like I'm just eating survival protein or what, some kind of dystopian third world. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Paz Patriot says, hey, Tom. Hey, Paz, we're just about to end the show. Thanks for trying to make it. Appreciate that. So, yeah, that's what we're doing here. Gosh, I need to shave. This is like 3 days worth. That's too much. He says, sorry. Don't worry about it, man. You got here as soon as you could. No big deal. No big deal. What? We didn't get that many people in here today. What's the big attraction going on right now? It's taking away my damn viewers. Oh, Stuttering John. Well, you know, if you'd rather watch Stuttering John than me, I don't know what to tell you, really. There's one, the corn diff guys. I don't understand the puppet shows. I really don't. But not everything's supposed to be for me, so that's fine. That's just fine. Just sleep and hydrate. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. And binge watching things. I was binge watching Blue Bloods today. That show is so popular, and it is strangely addictive given the fact that it's the same plot every single show. Every single episode's the same damn show. Oh, dear. Anyways. Okay, unless anybody has any major earth-shaking requests, I think I might have to do a show on Jed Smock. Jed Smock I think it's Jed. I don't think it's Jeb. Yep, it's Jed. Yeah, I'm going to do a show on him. That guy, I saw him get the tar beat out of him at Ball State for calling some guy's girlfriend a prostitute. And the dude just pulled him off the little thing he was standing on and just beat him silly. But, yeah, well, I did do a show today. That's the most I can say about doing a show. And I could have waved it off. I really could have. But I didn't. And I did the basketball show here, which I know a lot of my viewers won't even like because it's sports related. But tomorrow I promise to have a story of death and dismemberment that will please you all. I will try to have an extremely bloody and carnage-filled story for you that will bring a smile to your face. And with all that being said, I think the only thing left to say is, till next time, we'll see you next time. Whoops, it's the end of the song. Sorry, let's get up to the beginning of the song. Bye.